Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English, and this is Mukesh Soni. In this video, we are going to have the discussion of an important question paper, that is first semester additional English, March-April 2023 examination question paper under Bangalore City University BCU question paper, first semester additional English. Before that, let's know the syllabus here. You have two important sections of the question paper: the language component 40 marks and the coursebook lessons 20 marks. And the language components have no choice: paragraph writing 10 marks, compulsory question, precis writing 10 marks, event report 10 marks, and expansion of proverbs 10 marks. Then you have here coursebook lessons. You have 6 lessons. Then those coursebook lessons questions stand for 20 marks, and here you have two sections: 5 marks 2 questions, and 10 marks 1 question. And I have already done a question paper solution, that is a model question paper solution. You can go through the description box, and in the description box you will get here the model question paper answers also. So you'll be having here two question papers. That's going to give you a lot of ideas. And moreover, as far as the course book lessons are concerned, I have tried to give the answers in such a manner that it will try to cover to some extent the summary of the lesson, either it's a story or a poem. So let's begin it. The section A consists here 40 marks from the language component. The very first question you have here, you need to write the paragraph on the two topics. One is the social media addiction, other is the pollution. So each question has here 5 marks, 2 into 5, 10 marks. So you can pause the video and you can go through that how the paragraph is written here. And I'm not going to read the answer of language components question, because I believe that every person has their own language skills. It is not necessary that the way I have written you should also write in the same manner. But whatever you write, as far as the paragraph writing or the language components are concerned, you should write to the point, and it should relate to the topic. The content should be relevant, without any grammatical error, and very much meaningful. So this way you'll be having here two questions for the paragraph writing 2 into 5, 10 marks. Next question, paragraph will be given, and you need to precis writing. You need to convert into the 1/3 of, for example, 335 words is written here. You need to write in the 1/3. So 1/3 in the sense, hardly, if it's 100 words, you'll be writing here about 30. So 335 in the sense, obviously 120 words you'll be writing here. And again, don't repeat the sentences, try to give a gist. Next question you have here, report writing. So you report writing, that's for 10 marks. See here, the difference is here. 10 marks questions for the report writing. Paragraph writing 10 marks, and 10 marks is here. Sorry, paragraph writing 10 marks, 10 marks is a precis writing, and 10 marks for the report writing. Now, what kind of report? You have conducted an event like alcohol kills campaign, and you need to write a report for your college magazine or for the college newsletter. So obviously you need to write that when the event was conducted, what is the importance of the event, and how the event was benefited to everybody. So you need to write in such a manner that it should be reachable to everybody, because it will be published in the college magazine or the college newsletter. You can pause the video, you can go through the description, you can go through the answer. Next question you have here, two proverbs will be given, and you need to interpret those two proverbs in your own words. So you have here two proverbs, both are compulsory. All that glitter is not gold, the pen is mightier than the sword. So all that glitter is not gold, you need to give the answer, what's the meaning, and you need to give the example. For example, you can pause the video, you can read the answer. The proverb, all that glitters is not gold, implies that appearances can be deceiving, and not everything that appears attractive or valuable on the surface is necessarily so. It warns against making judgments based solely on outward appearances without considering the true nature or quality of something. So this is how you need to give the meaning of the proverb. Then you need to give an example. You can go through this example, that imagine someone comes across a shiny piece of metal in the sand, assuming it's gold. due to its glittering appearance. They may become excited and hopeful about their supposed discovery of a valuable treasure. However, upon closer inspection, they realize that it's just a piece of polished brass or pyrite or fool's gold, which may look similar to gold but lacks its true value. So this situation signifies the essence of the proverb, highlighting the importance of discernment and not being misled by superficial allure. So this is how you need to explain, and this is for 5 marks. So 10 marks, 2 questions. The next you have here, the pen is mightier than the sword. The proverb, the pen is mightier than the sword, suggests that the power of words in communication, which is symbolized by pen, is more influential and effective than the force or violence that is symbolized by the sword. It emphasizes the idea that ideas, persuasion, diplomacy can achieve greater and longer lasting change than brute force or aggression. For example, let's consider the impact of a powerful speech or a well written piece of literature that inspires people to change their beliefs or take action for a cause. So, these forms of expression can sway opinions, mobilize movements, and shape the course of history without resorting to physical violence. In contrast, while violence may bring immediate results, it often breeds resentment or perpetuates the cycles of conflict. So you can change your language, you can make it more simpler. So that is about the 40 marks questions from the course, from the language components. I repeat here, the very first question you will receive here, the paragraph writing on the 2 topics, 5 marks each. Then you'll receive here the pre writing. You need to convert into the 1/3. Then you'll be getting here. I would say which one I forgot. The again. Uh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, report writing. Report writing, that's for 10 marks. Then the 2 proverbs, you need to explain these 2 proverbs. So paragraph writing, report writing, the pre writing, report writing, and the proverbs explanation. And all those 4 questions have no choices. So this question paper is very expensive. So you need to concentrate more. And the course book, which have 6 lessons, which have the weightage for 20 marks, and this course book has the 2 sections, 5 marks questions and the 10 marks questions. So let's begin it. So 5 marks questions, you need to answer only 2. So again, I would say here, I have tried to give the answer in such a manner where somewhere you will get the summary of the lesson, summary of the poem, or summary of the story. So it may be quite longer, but hopefully it might help you a lot. Okay. So what was the incident that happened in Dittu's past in the story, The Taxi Driver? Sorry, my throat has got some infection. Kindly bear with my um, voice. Okay. Dittu, a sick taxi driver, finds a wallet filled with currency notes in his taxi. He's uneasy and wonders where to find the owner of the purse, as he has experienced similar incidents with moneyed people or the rich people. He has a history of arguing with passengers about the name and the address of the passengers, which has had to give up due to the misunderstandings. In a similar situation, Dittu calls an incident in their own town, Pakistan, where he was caught in a parcel by shopkeepers. He felt bewitched and disintegrated as if someone had played a trick on him. He felt a sense of betrayal and wished he had handed over the parcel to a shopkeeper. This incident prompted Dittu to consider leaving the wallet on the back seat, but he felt it was foolish as his son would come to clean the car and he would be driving the taxi all day. He felt like inviting someone to pocket the wallet, to give the wallet, which he felt was a sin. Dittu finds a wallet left behind by someone in the taxi. He tells his wife that it's not wise to keep money in a wallet as it can be lost or all the money goes. Ditto is angry and accuses her of passing it on to the creditors. Banti, that is Ditto's wife, disagrees, arguing that they should not have anything to do with other people's money. Dittu tries to convince Banti that they should not have any money, but she refuses. He threatens to skin her alive if she does. Dittu wakes up from sleep, perspiring profusely. Banti grapples with her husband. Dittu loses his patience and smashes Banti on her face. The son Gullu wakes up and hurls filthy abuse at his mother, who reveals that husbands sometimes beat their wives. Banti tries to explain this to her son, but she doesn't reply. She then lights a lantern and starts counting the currency notes in the wallet. She asks Gullu about the amount of money he has ever seen, and he replies that he has never seen 100 rupees note, 50 rupees, and 20 rupees, and a 20 rupees note. Gullu and his wife go to sleep just like the taxi driver husband. So that's about the story. How did people treat Coachman Ali in the story The Letter? The letter written by Ketu is the story of an old coachman whose daughter Miriam married a soldier and went to live with him. Ali missed her and gave up hunting after he realized the pain of separation. 5 years passed, but he kept on waiting for Miriam's letter. He went to the nearby post office daily in the hope of getting letter from his daughter, but no letter ever came for him. Rather, the clerks or the officials made fun of him. They would call out his name in mischief, and when Ali would go to the window, they would laugh at him. Ali used to feel bad about all this. The postman started taking him to be a madman, but Ali, not bothering all about this, returned every day to the post office just to hear a word from his daughter or her well being. Towards the end of his life, his ill health prevented him from visiting the post office daily. He could not breathe properly. So one day, when he visited the post office, he told one of the clerks to do him a favor by forwarding Mariam's letter to his grave. He offered him 5 golden guineas for this. There were tears in his eyes. He was never seen after that, and then nobody bothered to inquire about him. Time passed. One day, the postmaster had a problem. His daughter, who lived in other town, fell ill. He anxiously waited for news of her, but there was none. It was at this moment he was reminded of Ali and his anxiety of getting letter from his daughter. This realization made him truly repentant of his rude behavior towards Ali. Meanwhile, there was a letter addressed to Ali. The clerk decided to hand over the letter to Ali himself at 4 o'clock. Sorry. That night, the postmaster could not sleep. At 5, he heard a soft knock at the door. He opened the door only to find Ali standing there. The postmaster handed him the letter. Ali immediately disappeared after taking the letter. Just then, Lakshmi Das, the clerk who had taken the guineas from Ali, came there and saw that the postman talking to someone. He was astonished to hear Ali's name and so informed the postmaster that Ali died 3 months ago. The postmaster could not believe that. That evening, both of them went to visit Coachman Ali's grave and placed and kept the letter over there. Now, the postmaster realized the value of human feelings and emotions in terms of letter and envelopes. Now, they were not mere postcards, but much more than anyone could realize. Her soldier husband from a regiment in Punjab, he transforms completely, feels lonely in her absence, hunting no longer interests him, and he understands meaning of love and separation when he misses his daughter. In a simple hope of receiving a letter from her, someday he goes to the post office religiously, although He has never received a letter. He keeps it as it is. Question number 3 for 5 marks. How does Casuarina tree remind the poet of her childhood? Our Casuarina tree is a superb creation of Toru Dutt. The poem consists of 5 stanzas. Each stanza has 11 lines with a rhyming scheme of ABBA, CDDC, EEE. In this poem, Toru Dutt expresses her emotional association with the tree. The tree reminds her of the memorable moments spent in her childhood days. The poem is about timelessness and eternity. Toru Dutt gives a beautiful romantic description of the tree in the poem Our Casuarina Tree. In the description of the tree, Toru Dutt exhibits a unique poetic talent that she possesses. The poem is full with the description of nature. In the very first stanza of the poem, the poet describes the majestic beauty of the tree that stood in her garden. The tree is huge and strong. The tree looks grand and beautiful in the tight grip of python-like creeper with crimson flowers that has wound the tree all around. The tree appears like a giant wearing a scarf. The survival of the tree in the tight embrace depicts the strength of the tree because no other tree would have survived. The grip is tight but blossomy. The tree has a rugged trunk with scars all over. The ruggedness with deep marks symbolizes the long existence of the tree. So these lines describes the beauty as well as the strength of the tree. The poet says, "A creeper climbs in whose embrace is bound. No other tree could live, but gallantly the giant wears the scarf and the flowers are hung in crimson clusters, all the boughs among." This huge Casuarina tree is a center of life as it serves as home for birds and trees. The birds and the bees hum and buzz and make the whole environment vibrant. In the night, the sweet song of the bird coming from the dark corner of the tree makes the surroundings a creeper climbs in whose embrace bound musical. The line, sung darkling from a tree while men repose, carries a romantic flavor. It reminds us of the famous line of John Keats in Ode to the Nightingale. In the second stanza, the poet gives a very lively and rapturous description of the tree. She describes the pleasure of enjoying the delightful sight of the tree in the early morning. As she opens the window, she finds a grey baboon sitting on the branch of the tree like a statue and enjoying the sunrise. The young ones of the monkey are seen enjoying on the lower branch of the tree. Music of the kokila during daytime is extremely refreshing. The cows move towards the pastures. The water lilies give the sight of the snow amazed when the shadow of the huge tree cast upon the water tank. Through these descriptions, the poet makes the tree appear huge and grand. The sight of the baboon, the hailing kokilas, and the sleepy cows portrays a typical Indian scene. In the third stanza, the poem, Toru Dutt affirms that it is not the magnificence of the tree that fascinated her. In fact, the tree is dear to her because of the memories of the past that's linked with it. The memories cannot be separated as it has merged with the image of the tree. She is reminded of the wonderful moments of the childhood days which she spent with her brother and sister under the shade of this huge tree. The speaker remembers her sister Aru and her brother Abju, who are dead. She expresses her feelings in the following lines. She says, "O sweet companions, loved with loved intense, for your sakes shall the tree be ever dear." In the fourth stanza of the poem, the poet humanizes the tree as its lament was a universal record of human pain and regret. It also reaches to the distant lands of France and Italy. The image of the tree emerges as a sublime form in the mind of the poet. The image of the tree reminds her of her dead brother and sister. So this form correlates to her childhood memories that she spent in her motherland. Thus, Casurana tree of a garden has now become a symbol of time and eternity as the poet recollects the moment of the past and immortalizes it forever. The last stanza is an expression of poet's desire to make the tree immortal. She desires to dedicate a lyric in honor of the huge tree because it is associated with the memories of those who were precious to the poet more than her life. She desires the Casulina tree to stand with deathless tree of Borodil. In other words, Torudat wanted the Casulina tree to become immortal like the yew trees of Borodil that were made immortal by William Wordsworth, a great romantic poet. The death of Abju and Aru haunts the poet. The tree was a memory of love and companionship for Torudat. She desired to protect the tree from oblivion's curse. In other words, she willed that the tree must not be forgotten. Hence, this poem was written to immortalize the tree that forever remained an image of her loved ones. So these were the three questions, four questions, and out of four questions, two questions you need to opt. Now, 10 marks questions. Here you'll be given here three questions and you need to opt here only one. Again, here I have tried to give you the gist of the lesson or the summary. Discuss the factors that contribute to the loneliness of Mohan Swami in the story, The Unpalatable Offering. The Unpalatable Offering, one of the translated short stories explaining sexuality, urbanization, and the class, from Kannada writer Vasudendra's Mohan Swami. The present short story brings out the perplexity of the corporate world in a metropolitan city. The protagonist of the story struggles with his loneliness, which is a part of his unrevealed sexual identity. He prays for the unmistaken companionship which would help him thrive in this world where he longs for a sustainable relationship, though he is financially sound. The other requirements to lead a happy and stable life seem missing in his life. His decision of buying a flat within 30 minutes without any specification bemuses the readers. It's a humor. The story is a part of his collection of short stories titled Mohan Swami. Vasudendra is known for his exploration of LGBTQ theme and his candid portrayal of the struggles faced by individuals within the community and the Indian society. Mohan Swami is socially isolated due to his sexual orientation. As a gay man in a society that stigmatizes homosexuality, he struggles to find acceptance and understanding from those around him. Mohan Swami faces rejection and disapproval from his family after they discover his homosexuality. This rejection from his own kin leaves him feeling alienated and disconnected from his roots, further deepening his sense of loneliness and isolation. The story is set in a conservative Indian society where traditional cultural values and expectations dictate social norms. Mohan Swami's inability to conform to these norms due to his sexual orientation leads to his marginalization and exclusion from mainstream society and contributing to his loneliness. Mohan Swami internalizes the shame and guilt associated with his sexuality, which prevents him from fully embracing his identity and seeking support from others. His internal struggle with self acceptance and self worth adds, uh, which also supplement to his feelings of loneliness and isolation. He longs for romantic companionship and intimacy, but finds it difficult to form meaningful relationships in a society where same sex relationships are taboo. His inability to find love and companionship further exacerbates his feelings of loneliness and longing for connection. Overall, The loneliness experienced by Mohan Swami in the story, The Unpalatable Offering, is a result of societal stigma, familial rejection, cultural expectations, internalized shame, and the lack of romantic connection, all of which contribute to his profound sense of isolation and alienation. Next question. The Rug. The Rug is a commentary on the consequences of human greed. In the story Rug, there's a rug elephant leaves the forest and terrorizes the village surrounding the forest. It's a reflection of human animal conflicts in Northeast and all over India. It is a commentary on the consequences of human greed on the natural world as well as humans. So the unpalatable, sorry, the story there's an error here. I'm sorry for this. In the story The Rug, uh, please do read the unpalatable. Please don't read the unpalatable. In the story The Rug, the arrival of rug elephant strikes fear and panic in a village. Men gather to strategize to make a strategy to how to protect themselves, while women hurry to safeguard the children. The rug elephant, rug in the sense a kind of pagal elephant, a mad elephant, which has already caused a lot of disturbance, havoc, and claimed many people's life in the neighboring villages, is declared a threat by the government also, prompting a hunt to capture or to kill it. So there's a great hunt is going on for this mad elephant. Gajala, a young man from the village, worries about his charcoal pit in the forest. He's also afraid to leave for fear of encountering the elephant. Eventually, Gajal ventures out to check on his charcoal pit and discovers the rug elephant trapped in the hidden pit. So the charcoal pit which he has created by default, the elephant has got stuck over there. Despite his initial fear, Gajal chooses to help the injured elephant, digging a ramp to facilitate its escape. So he tries to save him, to protect him, and try to bring him out from this pit. So through Gajal's efforts, Gajal forms a bond with the elephant, providing it with care and compassion. However, a tragedy strikes when a hunter who was tracking this mad elephant mistakenly shoots Gajal, believing Gajal to be another victim of the mad elephant's rampage. So Gajal is killed by the shooter, by the hunter who was trying to target the victim of the elephant. The story explores the themes of fear, compassion, and the consequences of human animal conflict. Gajal's act of kindness towards a rug elephant contrasts sharply with the violence and fear surrounding its capture. Ultimately, Gajal's tragic death serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities of human wildlife interactions and the need for empathy and understanding in navigating such. Last question. Describe the conflict between the faith and science as presented in the poem Moonrise. The poem Moonrise is composed by Savitri Rajivan, a very noteworthy Malayalam poet and fiction writer. The poem Moonrise is set in the backdrop of a very significant event in mankind's history, that is, man's landing on the moon. The gigantic step by Neil Armstrong and the Buzz Aldrin is contrasted with the simplicity of a grandmother praying to moon god to keep her family safe, in the strong belief that as long as the moon is invincible and continues to glow in the sky, her prayers will always be answered. The conquest of the moon is sharply pitted against the unconquerable faith of the grandmother that can be decolonize the moon, erase the footprints of the Armstrong, and reclaim its terrain and its power to enchant. To eternally glow in the sky, blemishless, but can it be? The poem ends on a note of doubt, allowing the readers to come up with their own interpretation of the classic battle between tradition and the modern thought. But the last line of the poem leaves the readers grappling with a question that is based on the eternal conflict between science and faith and man and nature. A question that the poet wants us to debate on, a question that may not have an answer. Eternal, moon god, knave, Vamana foot raised all and all. Two large figures shining in the moonlight like the Asuras fighting the Devas. The above lines references on mythological aspects of this poem. That is, Vamana is the fifth avatar of Hindu god Vishnu, who becomes a dwarf in order to restore the cosmic balance by defeating the Asura king Mahabali, who had acquired disproportionate power over the universe. So, by taking these three gigantic steps, the benevolent god Vishnu reclaims the universe from the king. So, friends, this is how I have tried to solve the question paper of the first semester uh, additional English of the year 2023. So, I have tried to give the summary in the indirectly of all the chapters. So, if you like this video, click on the like button, and also please go through the description box. You'll also get one more question paper solution, that is a model question paper solution. So thank you so much. If you like this video, click on like button. So thank you. Wish you good luck for the examination.
Dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. You can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Please do subscribe the channel, click on the like button for more videos on literature, workbook, pronunciation, grammar, communication skills, presentation skills, interview skills. Stay in tune with Mukesh English. Thank you once again.